Let's take an in-depth look at today's Chiefs camp practice, which is Sunday, August 7th, and look at some standout plays and players including JuJu Smith-Schuster almost losing his head, Justin Reid kicking a 65-yard field goal, Mecole Hardman continuing to shine, then take a look at the most intriguing positional battle on the entire roster, and much freaking more. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, aka the Great Red Beard of the Great Red Sea, or sometimes known as Little Red Riding Beard, and I do daily news about the Kansas City Chiefs, so definitely make sure to sub if you're new for the most thorough content on the platform. Hit that like button if you are as impressed that I am that safety Justin Reid kicked a 65-yard field goal today. Yes, 65. And let's get into this video starting with an injury report update from today's practice, and the good news is there are no new injuries from today, and actually, wide receiver DeRuse Fountain, who left practice early due to a finger injury yesterday, could be seen out there having a solid day today. PJ Green actually said this about Fountain: "I don't know if Fountain's dropped a pass all day." So the finger must be a non-issue for the most part, which is good news for Fountain. And the guys who remain on the injury list are quarterback Rashad Fenton with the shoulder, offensive tackle Lucas Niang with the knee, defensive tackle Taylor Stallworth with the knee bruise, and then tight end Jody Fortson is still out with this minor, from what they're telling us, minor quad injury, and he's been out long enough now that many wonder if he will even play in this Saturday's game, which is only 6 days away. And obviously the Chiefs' plans for Fortson is to be a valuable contributor this season on offense, so since it's only still preseason, I don't see a reason to rush things and get Fortson out there a bit prematurely, and it seems like neither does the coaches. That's all for the injury report today, but there was a player who got cut from the team, and that was cornerback Deandre Baker, who was released today from the team to make room for the newly signed receiver Devin Gray, who could be seen at practice today wearing the number 80. Deandre Baker getting cut was not a complete surprise to me, as he was seen struggling at times against the second and third team at camp, and part of me wonders if the injury he sustained back in 2020 is still bothering this man a bit, as he just does not look quite who he used to be. Baker was a 2020 first-round pick with the Giants, joined the Chiefs in 2020, then suffered a leg injury in the 2020 season finale, and it looks like this could indeed be his final goodbye with the team, who are certainly deep at cornerback at the moment. And on the subject of cornerbacks, let's stay here and talk defensive standouts, starting with the secondary. As you can see here, L'Jarius had a great rep here against wide receiver Aaron Parker, and L'Jarius is a definite starter on the roster, as well as rookie Trent McDuffie, who has had a solid couple days in a row now at training camp, including this play specifically of a nice pass breakup against MVS. You can tell he's sort of coming into his own and working through these growing pains rather quickly, which is excellent because the Chiefs are going to be asking a lot of this man, and also other rookies like 4th-round pick Joshua Williams, and we'll get to Williams in a second. The other corners that we're going to be looking at would be Jalen Watson until Rashad Fenton and his shoulder gets better. He's a big question mark right now, but then you have Lonnie Johnson Jr., who, as many have reported, including Ryan Tracy last night during his live stream, what the heck is going on with Lonnie Johnson Jr.? He's been pretty quiet. I think he's been taking reps with the second and third team. So we'll have to see. He was my initial projected starter, but as of right now, it seems like they're favoring rookies Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams over Lonnie Johnson Jr., who the Chiefs traded for a couple months ago or so from the Texans. So yeah, we'll have to continue monitoring that. Interesting indeed. Let's go back to Joshua Williams because he has had a pretty decent camp thus far, getting in some decent amount of reps with the ones, but he messed up a bit today, okay? When he accidentally attempted to remove JuJu Smith-Schuster's head from his shoulders near the beginning of practice. Yeah, don't ever do that again, Joshua Williams. Do you understand me? We must protect our perceived to be wide receiver 1 at all costs. It was obviously an accident, and you could tell he felt pretty bad about it. JuJu did lay there for like 20 seconds or so, but then got up and thankfully fully participated in the rest of practice. So he may have a sore neck or something tomorrow, but all things are pointing to JuJu Smith-Schuster being just fine. So close call. Joshua Williams probably learned his lesson, and we're all good. Anyway, other defensive standouts included rookie George Karlaftis, or at least this tweet was standout worthy enough for me to bring up a nice talking point. As Wes Roche says, one thing I like about George Karlaftis is that he's usually getting his hands up. That's a big part of the game for Dunlap and Chris Jones. Glad to see GK emphasize it as well. Yeah, so Chris Jones had 5 passes defense last season, and Carlos Dunlap had 7. So if Karlaftis as well can contribute in a similar way, they're about to be swatting footballs around like flies at a butcher shop. And that is all good things, because if you can't get to the QB to sack that man, swat his little ball from the air straight into the freaking ground. I like that. And on the subject of the defensive line, Nnadi spoke to the media today and gave the main reasons why he signed back with the Chiefs, giving some very high praise as well to D-line coach Joe Cullen.
Honestly, it'll probably be the relationship with a lot of my teammates. I work well with them. The conversation I've had with Coach Joe Cullen, I feel like he's the type of coach I've really been looking for right now to really up my game to the next level.
And another member of the D-line, newly added Carlos Dunlap, was apparently seen out there wrecking the second-team offense, having at least 1 rep that you could project as a sack on poor Chad Henne. Let's talk linebackers here for a moment now, because during the Chiefs' long drive period 1v1, the veteran Elijah Lee could be seen on defense at Sam, I am, no green eggs and ham, and this is someone that Nick Bolton himself said he's learning from and has been a valuable guy to lean on during camp.
I'm learning from everybody in the room. We got a lot of vet guys. It's on my 2nd year in the league, and so we got Elijah Lee coming in he's coming into his 6th year. JC Carter's going in his 5th year. So a lot of those guys seen a lot of football, seen a lot of schemes, can understand concepts. I'm still trying to learn, I'm trying to grasp, and so every single day we learn from each other, trying to feed off of each other.
And then Bolton said he's been seeing some good progress in rookie Leo Chanel, saying he's excited for Leo's future here in the league, and Bolton can already tell the game is starting to slow down like the Matrix for Leo a bit, even though they haven't yet played a game, but that's good news for Leo. Nick Bolton himself had some solid plays at camp, as PJ Green noted this today about him. One thing that has been consistent throughout camp is the Chiefs' run defense. Nick Bolton is leading the stops in that regard. Well, that's no freaking surprise to me, and very expected, because this man is incredible at that very thing and is going to lead this defense well, and I fully expect him to carry over these T4Ls that he had last season into this season as well. From here, let's talk about the offense for a little bit, who seemed to struggle a bit today with penalties and some unfortunate drops. Nate Taylor of The Athletic reported saying, "It's been a terrible day for the offense during team periods. A lack of execution, false starts, and missed connections on downfield passes." And offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy touched on this a bit as well during his presser today with the media.
We just didn't execute. We had false starts. Guys can't jump off sides. That's a part of the business. For whatever reason it happened, but a life lesson, we keep it moving.
Well, apparently Big Red was not happy about these false starts, which happened 3 times in a row, and that led Coach Reed throwing Mahomes and the other starters off the field in the middle of a team period. So yeah, that's not really good, I wouldn't think. Eric Bieniemy was asked about that specific situation, and EB basically said, Andy is the boss, and the boss can do whatever the heck he wants.
The head man is the head man for a reason. So that's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Translation: Andy Reid is in charge, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So next freaking question, please. Well, one question we've been asking is, who's going to be the Chiefs' go-to right tackle? Because while Andrew Wiley is here for that reason, he's not exactly a superstar-level right tackle. And today, Darian Kinnard was getting reps in with the second team at right tackle, and I would have expected him by now to be getting some reps with the ones, but hey, not happening for Hulk Smash at the moment. But it does look like Geron Christian was first team right tackle today for the majority of the snaps. Meanwhile, Andrew Wiley was mostly with the second team playing right guard, though he did take some top team right tackle snaps. But again, Geron Christian saw the majority of those reps, which is certainly interesting. I'm assuming they're just taking a crack at another guy on the roster, as they pretty much know what Wiley is capable of and simply would like to test the waters. I did read that Wiley seemed to have struggled yesterday against the rookie George Karlaftis, so maybe, just maybe, they wanted to try out another guy to see how he performed against the rookie. Offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy did have some good words to say about Christian, but they were indeed optimistically cautious.
I think Jaron has done a heck of a job of doing this, accepting what we do and how we do it, okay? And he's working his tail off. But like I said, we're still in that developmental process. We're still trying to see who can play and how well they can play at a consistent level.
So yeah, we'll definitely have to keep our eyes on the right tackle prize as the days progress and the first preseason game gets closer and closer with each passing day. And then PJ Green noted that Noah Gray was getting in some reps with the ones today, yes, but also seen making some plays today while running with the ones. And the play you're watching right now isn't with the ones, but here's a nice play from Gray, making a solid catch, turning in midair to snag a ball from Henne that was thrown a bit behind him. Gray had a standout day yesterday, and this was certainly a standout catch if you ask the Beard. From here, let's talk wide receivers for a bit, starting with how the room is clicking as a whole, because Eric Bieniemy didn't seem too thrilled with the progress so far. He actually said that the QB to receiver timing is not where they want it to be at this point in time. And for clarity, he could also be talking about the other QBs and not just Mahomes, but it's still worth bringing up.
Nope, it's not where we need it to be right now, but this is why we're in training camp, because we're working to be at our best. Now, what I want our guys to do is to make sure that they weather the storm, they come back out, forget what took place, let's take a look at it on tape, make the necessary corrections, then we come out and do it again tomorrow.
So yeah, that's slightly concerning, but we still have time, obviously, as preseason should help nicely with the timing aspect of things. Lately though, Mahomes seems to have had pretty much little to no timing issues with Mecole Hardman, as he had a great day yesterday. And then today, Nate Taylor noted that the best highlight in 7-on-7 was a deep connection from Patrick Mahomes to Mecole Hardman in man coverage against Joshua Williams. So yeah, this snag was excellent. Great freaking work by Hardman. And here's another clip featuring a nice across the field pass from Mahomes to Hardman, followed by a nice 1v1 route of Hardman on Jalen Watson, which you do really love to see it from the vet Hardman, who has much to prove this season. So let's freaking go, like my shirt, Mecole Hardman. Hashtag shameless plug of my bearded merch if you're interested. Link in the description and all that good stuff. You've got this shirt, sweatshirts, female tank tops, a coffee tumbler, all kinds of other stuff in my store if you want to check it out. But if you're not interested, that's okay. I will not hate you, and I really doubt, speaking of the word hate, that JuJu hates Joshua Williams, but while he did get shaken up early on, by all accounts, he had a decent day of practice today. Also, JuJu had a solid, pretty much wide open grab here on this play, and again, continues to be the clear-cut go-to for Mahomes on many occasions. Bieniemy basically was all praise for JuJu Smith-Schuster and his progress on the team so far.
The thing that I love about JuJu is when you tell him his mistake or something that he needs to improve upon, he converses back with you, and then he auto-corrects it. And so the thing that I love what he brings to the table, he brings positive energy, he works hard, he's very humble, and the only thing he wants to do is to make sure he's doing it right.
And then Adam Teicher reported that MVS had maybe his most productive practice of camp, making a number of difficult catches, including this nice grab here, as he simply uses his height to his advantage to almost bully the shorter Trent McDuffie. And I do like seeing Mahomes throw up a jump ball, which isn't something that's typical for him, but certainly something we should see more of this season. Freaking book it. And lastly on my receiver notes is that Nate Taylor of The Athletic said both Justin Watson and Sky Moore in one-on-one drills were looking pretty slick. So there's some more praise for Justin Watson as he continues his seemingly impressive camp run to earn a spot on this roster that is nearly but officially confirmed already per Dave Tobe for his special teams usage. And another player who's basically a confirmed roster lock, 99% at this point due to being kick returner number 1 right now, is rookie running back Isiah Pacheco, who was seen running with the first team offense again today. And here's a nice clip of a short pass from Henne to Pacheco that was obviously with the second team, but what I want y'all to see is the speed on Pacheco as he turns on his little jets, because sheesh, that boy fast. Fullback Mike Burton spoke to the media today and immediately complimented the running back room as a whole, but was asked quite a bit specifically about rookie running back Isiah Pacheco because of his training camp hype so far, yes, but also because they both went to the same college, Rutgers, and even though Burton is years older, he's on year 8 and Pacheco is obviously a rookie. He knew about Pacheco previously as he's visited his former college a few years ago, and everything he'd heard about Isiah then rang true as he's now seen him working firsthand here at training camp.
It all came true, you know, I kind of saw him at practice and run, and he's tough, he's willing to block, like he could be a 3-down guy, so he's been doing a lot of great things for us.
And then of course, Burton complimented Pacheco's speed. He runs like a 4.37 40 and said he himself has to move quick in order to best block for him.
It's nice to know you got a guy like Pacheco who's got a lot of juice out of his stance. So maybe you got to make sure you get out of there a little bit quicker and stuff like that, where maybe a back that's a little bit more patient, he's going to read it through. So then you have a little bit more time to read it through as well.
And so while it seems all eyes are on Pacheco, or at least more eyes are moving in his direction, who was seen getting in with the ones today immediately after CEH and notably before RoJo, from what I understand, that means less looks are continuing to go away from running back Ronald Jones II. Pete Sweeney himself is beginning to wonder if Pacheco can be the RB2 on this club by the time camp breaks. And that, of course, leaves a big fat question mark on the status of Ronald Jones, the initially perceived RB2 prior to camp, who was seen out there next in teams running plays after CEH and Pacheco. Eric Bieniemy was actually asked specifically about Jones today during his presser, and EB complimented RoJo's work ethic, but had an interesting little chicken nugget, a little nugget in his answer that's worth talking about.
You know what? RoJo's doing a heck of a job. He's obviously a big man. He's done some good things running the football. He just needs to continue becoming the football player we expect him to be, because we expect our guys to do a lot from that running back position. And the thing that he's done, he's accepted the challenge, and he's doing things that he hasn't really done in the past. So the thing that I love about him, every single day he comes out here and works his tail off.
Did you guys hear what EB said there? He just needs to continue being the football player we expect him to be, because we expect a lot from our guys here at the running back position. Well, that's pretty interesting, because what I took away from that is RoJo is not yet living up to his perceived expectations when they signed this man, because of the high demand the coaches put on the backs of the running backs, yes, but I think also because the talent they have in the room, when they compare said talent and the multi-talented aspects of blocking, catching, and running, and then looking at Ronald Jones. So this is a very interesting, very intriguing battle that we must watch, and we have to take what EB says pretty seriously here, because he's a former NFL running back and a longtime running backs coach. So I would take his words seriously, and that indeed puts RoJo in a semi-dangerous place here on the team. So whether it was intentional or not, I think EB shed even more light on the Ronald Jones situation, and we will have to continue monitoring that very closely, as it's one of the most intriguing battles at camp so far. And what do you guys think about the running back battle? Are you like me and think the writing may be on the wall for RoJo's eventual departure, or are you more in the camp that RoJo still has a great chance of making the roster based on his own unique abilities and skill set? Let me know your thoughts on this either way in the comments down below, and also on the rest of today's practice in the comments, and let's have a row about it down there per usual. Make sure to leave a bearded comment or a super thanks to potentially be featured in an upcoming vid. Follow me on Twitter for more rapid Chiefs news. Like this video, sub, blah, blah, freaking blah. You know the deal. And then check out this video here, from All Chiefed Up, in which you will see a very familiar shirt being worn. It looks very nice. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those